Hey there, Morbid Maniacs. It's time for another spooky video, a part of VLOGTOBER. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking all about the Maple Grove Cemetery. Before I get into this video, I just wanted to say, if you're new here, hello, my name is Melanie. And over here we post spooky and paranormal content 24/7. Halloween year-round, but for the month of October we make it extra special and post spooky videos 31 days straight. So if that is something that you are interested in, please feel free to stick around and become a part of this little Morbid Maniac family. Located in Vermillion, Ohio, the Maple Grove Cemetery was first opened for burials in 1900. Residing within this cemetery is a very damaged and ruined statue, which sits over top of a grave. This statue is unlike any other and is highly believed to be cursed, known as the Death Angel. The angel is slightly larger than a grown person and has no head or hands. Now, according to the legend, there was once a woman named Alice who lived all alone with her one and only daughter. For unknown reasons, one dark and stormy night, Alice would unalive her only daughter. There is no reason as to why she would do this, whether she was mentally ill, she was possessed by something, or was just driven completely insane. No one knows why or has a logical explanation. Afterwards, the woman would be overcome with grief and guilt for what she had done. With much remorse and regret, she would have her daughter buried within the Maple Grove Cemetery. She would be buried with a large white angel statue, able to get over the crime which she had committed. She would slowly drive herself insane. And just a few short years after her daughter's passing, Alice would unalive herself. She would be buried in a grave right beside her daughter. It wouldn't be long after the mother's death that rumors began swirling. Many who would pass by the cemetery at night would feel as though the angel statue's eyes would follow them. It was almost as if the angel was alive. And farmers within this area were beginning to find their livestock mutilated and killed out in open fields. They claimed it was as if something had tore apart their cattle in a very horrible way. People also began noticing that around the angel's hands and mouth were red-like stains which almost appeared to be blood. Legend states that Alice was condemned to live for an eternity within the statue as punishment for her wrongdoings, leaving her vengeful spirit to inhabit the cemetery forever. Her spirit having the ability to fly across the countryside to attack and unalive livestock in an attempt to satisfy her rage. It's said that if you climb onto the angel's back, that she would give you a ride through hell. And after weeks of finding these mutilated animals and hearing about these rumors which were spreading, the community grew very sick of this and would go into the cemetery and cut off the angel's hands and wings. The killings of the livestock would stop, and rusty streaks would soon appear on the cheeks of the angel. They almost looked like tears. It's believed that this was the tormented soul of the mother weeping over her actions. The death angel is believed to be very cursed. It is said that anyone who would stare into the eyes of this angel would soon pass shortly after. It's also been said that anyone who desecrates or destroys the statue in any way will meet an untimely death. One night, a group of teenagers would trespass into the cemetery. They would vandalize the angel statue, decapitating it. The following day, the group would pass away in a car crash, and the angel's head would be found in their back seat. In another version of the story, Alice's spirit did inhabit the statue. However, in this version, she was a kind spirit. During a cholera epidemic in the early 1900s, crazed parents would bring the bodies of their children to the cemetery and place them in the arms of the statue. They would ask the angel to send their child up to heaven. According to the story, a local pastor would tell his congregation that this was blasphemous, and as a result of this, the statue's hands were sawed off. This would enrage Alice's spirit, and from that point on, she vowed to have anyone damaging the angel or desecrating it to meet an untimely death. It's said that if you bring a tape recorder to the Maple Grove Cemetery, you will hear Alice's spirit speaking to you. And I have to point out that while I was doing research for this story, that the statue actually sits above two women's graves. These women were sisters, Alice and Lydia Fisher. And there was also a young girl who was buried in the same plot, whose name was Betty, but she was not the daughter of Alice. She was actually the daughter of Lydia. I'm not saying that the story is not real or that it didn't happen, because as I've said so many times before, I believe every urban legend stems from something. However, I do think that someone just vandalized the statue for no apparent reason whatsoever. If you ever find yourself traveling through the Maple Grove Cemetery in Ohio and stumble upon the death angel, do not vandalize her, as you may just chance your luck and meet an untimely death. There was the story of the Maple Grove Cemetery and the Death Angel. What do you guys think of this creepy urban legend? Would you ever visit there for yourself? Have you ever visited there for yourself and experienced something creepy? I would love to know in the comments below. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become a morbid maniac. Also be sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow.